So, in addition to appending things to our list, we also need the ability to delete elements. So let's make a new program and we'll call this one delete demo.py. And let's see. Let's take this list. And so we're going to create a list. And we're going to show the list. And then we're going to delete an element and then show the list again. So how do we show the list? Again, we can do it with just a print. And after I do that, I'll go ahead and run it and just make sure that that part worked. And there's our list, and it got displayed okay. So let's delete an element. Well, one way we can delete an element from the list is actually just, let's see, use the delete function. And so we'll say delete numbers, and let's take and we put an index in here. So we're going to put index 2, 0, 1, 2. So we're deleting this element here. And then we'll show the list again and run that. And there we can see, there's the original list. And since we deleted the element at index 2, that's 12 is at 0, 21 is at 1, 34 is at 2. So the 34 is what was removed. So there's another way we can do a delete, and that's using slice assignment. So I'm going to leave this one as a comment just so that it's there for reference. But let's look at, if I said numbers of index 2, we'll print this just for now. Let's see what we get. So we can see that when we run this, if I display numbers at index 2, I get the element 34. But let's say let's see if we can get the slice there. So if I put 2:2, let's see what happens. Notice that if I do 2 from 2 to 2, I get an empty list because, of course, it's inclusive exclusive if we review our slicing. But watch what happens when I put 2:3. And this is just a review at this point of using slicing, where we have, two numbers in our index with a colon between them. And now I get a list with 34 in it, which is a list with just this element. I can actually use a slice assignment to do the same thing as a delete. If I say, hey, take the slice from 2 to 3, which is really just, into element 2, and make that an empty list, that will also do the same thing as deleting. So this is another way of deleting an element. And let's see if that works. And yes, in fact, it does work. So when we did delete from the slice from 2 to 3, which is just this element here, that actually achieves a delete. So this slice assignment does the same thing as this delete. Typically, I think it's easier to use just the delete command. So I recommend doing this, but it's useful to know that this is available. Now, let's say we want to change this and make it so that the user could choose what to delete. So we could show the list, ask the user the element to delete that element and then show the list again. So I'm going to just clean this up a little bit. I'll leave that in there just as a reference. So how do we ask the user? Well, we're going to get index to delete, and we're going to need it to be an int, and then we're going to use an input statement, and we're going to ask them, say, please enter index to delete. Now, remember, if we do that, that will be one more because the user will typically say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to subtract 1 here to get the 0-based index. So I'm just going to put a little note there so that we know that the reason why we're doing that is to get a 0-based index. And then we want to delete that element. So rather than deleting 2, we're going to use that variable we got from the user, and we're going to delete that one. So let's run this and see what happens. And so then I could say, let me see if I want to delete the first one. Well, that worked. I deleted the first one. Run it again. And let's say I want to delete this 41. Well, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, I'm putting in 4, but because of this -1, it'll take index 3, which is the actual correct 0-based index from the program's perspective. But we're going to assume the user is going to put in 1. And so we can see, yeah, we can now, the user can pick what to delete. So in any case, that's how to delete. Use the delete command, or you can use the slice index. We would have to do weird things. We'd have to put the index +1 if we were doing that. So often we find that this delete command is the most convenient way to delete an element in a sequence or in a list. Thank you very much.